Good morning and welcome to the Morning Spotlight Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Ham. We are coming to you, as always, from the Spotlight Studios here in Morristown, New Jersey. Milestone episode today. This is episode 50 of this iteration of the podcast. Really excited that all of you have joined me throughout this roller coaster ride that it's been. Got a super awesome guest today. He's an indie artist that has amassed a fan base of over 1.2 million fans and over 200 million views across all social media platforms. He likes to say he's just a guy that God put here to sing and write songs. Some people seem to like him. He's also an actor that has co-starred in TV shows like The Detour on TBS, love that show, and Preacher on AMC. He's acted in various films as well. He's an OG podcaster. He's been podcasting before it was cool and before many people even knew what they were. On top of all that, he's now writing an article for a publication that highlights indie artists like himself. Needless to say, if it's in entertainment, chances are he's involved. He is Marty Ray. Marty, welcome to the show.
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me. I'm honored.
Absolutely. I'm honored to have you on. And, you know, I've been jacked up ever since we set this date for February 18th to have you come on and record. I know we got wires crossed on timing and stuff like that, but a little bit, which is all good, but you're here now. I was really excited. And then you got on here and I have never had the second best beard on my show ever. So like now I'm a little intimidated, to be honest, because I'm proud of mine. I mean, it's, you know, it's not anything to write home about, but I think it's solid. And then you get on here and you got that lion's mane thing coming off your feet. It's amazing. So what's the secret? Like what have you done to get it to that level of beard awesomeness?
Just don't shave it. Just don't cut it. That's all I know. That's all I do.
What about like products? You put anything in there? Because I mean, I saw you post something on your Instagram recently, babyface Marty Ray, and not to mention that jaw can probably cut diamonds. But you know what?
Well, it used to could. Now if I shave, it would look like just a fat face, I'm sure. But just like it wouldn't impress anybody. That's for sure. Yeah. That was actually many beard hairs ago and many pounds ago as well. There's a lot of difference there. Not just if I shaved, I wouldn't look like that. If I would look like that, if I shaved, I'd probably just shave so I could be skinny. But unfortunately, it don't work that way. Yeah. But no, I don't really use a lot of product. I probably should. I don't. I mean, I shampoo and condition it. Sure. You know, like everybody else does. Yep. I hope they do. And I do occasionally use some beard oil. I'm trying to launch my own beard oil company now, but I'm waiting to find a partner that can take care of getting things manufactured and things like that. I don't have time to fool with all that. So I'd just rather be the face and do it that way.
Gotcha. Yeah. So the other thing too was I've been on the MartyRayProject.com. There's the website plug right out of the gate, looking at the merch. And I've been going back and forth on the projector hats or the patch hat like that. And I was going to say to myself, I was like, when he gets on here, I'm just going to go with that hat that he has on because I just can't make the decision. I can't pull myself in either way. So now I think I'm going with the patch hat myself.
What if I wouldn't have been wearing a hat?
Then I would have just, I don't even know. I would have just shut the interview down at that point. I would have been like, you know what?
You would have had to end it. Maybe I would have go just like that. You'd be like, well, that's how I got to go then.
Well, that's what.
Are we doing it, bro?
You want to do it?
Is it bald off?
Let's go bald off. Bald and beard. Bald and beard for the rest of the show. So I got patch hat now. We're going bald and beard the rest of the show.
That's the only reason I wore that, to help you make your decision. So
I appreciate that. This is subconscious level. I love that.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So now we're basically like, I look like your little brother now, your little New Jersey brother. So that's awesome. So whatever.
If you were here, I would pat you on the head.
All right, cool. So let's talk about the music career. Like you're living in Nashville. At what point, I know you like to say that you came out of the womb singing. Was that just something that's always been a part of you? Like something that you always just knew you were good at? Or was it something that you've kind of learned to be good at over time?
It's something I always thought I was good at. I've never learned how to do it. So I don't know if I sing right even to this day, but I grew up mimicking other artists. Whoever I heard, I would mimic them and try to sound like them. And I thought I sounded pretty good. And some of my friends thought I sounded really good, but there was other people that said I couldn't sing and that if I wanted to get into music, I better learn to play an instrument. There were some people that said Music, you can sing, but music is not it's a pipe dream. It's not a realistic goal. You'll never make money doing that. And I didn't really have my own voice until around 2005. I got a MacBook and it had GarageBand on it. And I started recording myself. And then it was one fateful night at a church, at an empty church with just me and my cousin. And I'm doing it like a movie trailer for some reason. It's weird. I never told it that way. But since I'm going that route, I'm going to continue. The night was black. The snow was falling. It was a Christmas morning. My cousin and I, as I gaze out the window, I remember upon the time when my cousin and I were at a church and we were using the pastor's office as a vocal booth. And I said, let's record something so I can mix and play around with this software. And he said, okay, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. Pick any song out of the hymn book and I'll just follow you. And so that's what I did. That's what he did. He picked the song, picked Great Speckled Bird. And I had never heard anybody sing it. I had no reference in my head. So he started playing and I just started singing from the heart. And it was the first time I'd ever heard my voice. God showed me my voice for the first time right then. So I made a video. That video got, I don't remember the exact number, but around 20 to 30,000 views. And I thought I was famous at that point. I said, man, I'm big time. People started calling the shop where I worked at my dad's shop. And they said, when are you going to make an album, this and this? And so at that point, I said, maybe those people were wrong. I told God, I said, this is what you want me to do. I'm gonna go after it. And if you want me to do it, then we'll see. And you bring fruit to it. And he's been honoring my effort ever since.
Love it. Love it. So one of the things you mentioned early on in that answer was people that you like to mimic. So like, what were some of those voices? Like, who were some of those artists, bands, whatever it is that you like to kind of, maybe model yourself after when you were first getting started?
Well, I grew up listening to a lot of gospel, like black gospel. So Mahalia Jackson, which I couldn't sound like her, but I sure wish I could. And I would try my dangest, but I couldn't sound like her at all. Her and Shirley Caesar and Rance Allen, people like this. You probably don't know any of these people, but there were several like choir music type stuff. And then that kind of morphed into Boys to Men. I'm sure you've heard of them. Started listening to Boys to Men, mimicking them. And then that just whoever I started listening to, I was trying to sound like them. I thought that was like a goal of mine to see if I could sound like them. So there was Boys to Men turned into Al Green and people like that. And then the soul music, and then the soul music turned into the blues. B.B. King, and the blues turned into the rock with the Leonard Skinner, and then the rock turned into Charlie Daniels, and the Charlie Daniels turned into some country. So that's kind of how it goes. And then, of course, somewhere in there, I was listening to rap too. So I listened to Tupac and Eminem and Beastie Boys. Used to love Beastie Boys so much.
I like Beastie Boys myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a modge podge of, and I'm sure I'm no different than anybody else. It's a modge podge of music genre inspiration. I think my voice and my style now kind of reflects that. Yeah, sometimes.
I was going to ask, like, do you think if you hadn't gone through like that, fascination almost and like a musical chameleon in a certain way, all these different types of genres and singers and, styles and all that kind of stuff, do you think that you would be the singer that maybe you are now if you hadn't gone through all that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that all that different music shaped my writing style and my voice into what it is now. I think God used all that. Hold on a second now. Did that go off in your ear? Or am I still there?
Yeah, you're good.
I had an alarm go off.
Just the video. You're good.
Shoot. How unprofessional.
We're trying to run a professional show here, and it just, and here
I come. on your 50th year anniversary of doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And here I am. You know what, man? I'm just going to get off because it just, I ruined everything. And I'm putting the hat back on too. It's over.
Yeah, my head's getting cold here because it's it's snowing outside here.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd that's why I put mine back on, so you put yours back on. I couldn't hardly see.
Yeah,
it was blind.
The reflection right off the top of it. This ring light really gets some.
That ring light is not a good look for a bald head, bro.
No, it is not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but
we were talking about the influences of all those different artists and mimicking those artists. If you thought that you would be the singer that you are now, you don't know, which is fine. So at what point do you? So I know in the church with the movie trailer that we just laid out, that's where you said you found your voice. And then you always thought that you were good at it. Maybe you didn't, get the same kind of feedback from maybe other people that you were expecting that feedback from. But was there a moment, was that the moment in the church, or was there a moment after where you were like, man, we got something here. Like we got something rolling. Was it, the Vanilla Ice video? Was it something else? Was it, what was there a moment where you were like, man, we could actually get some legs and get this thing rolling?
There's been many times that happens. That still happens to this day. I still think we might get this thing rolling after all. So, I don't know. That just happens throughout my career periodically. The Bible says that a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. And that's kind of my career. My whole career has been that way. Whatever these doors open that I can't really open. But yeah, I mean, after I made that first video, I thought, because it got, like I said, it got like 10 to 20, 20 to 30, whatever the exact number was. And people were calling and they were very interested. It was moving them. I thought, hey, this might be a viable income or viable way to make a living after all. And then after that, I took some money and made an EP, 5-song EP, and I thought this thing's gonna blow up. People been asking about it. Didn't blow up at all. That album didn't blow up at all, and got very few sales, it seemed like. And after that, I started making videos, just random videos, and did a parody of a song called "All About That Bass." I called it "All About That Beard." Don't know where I got that idea, but
I can tell you,
yeah. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how that even came to me. Yeah, it was a very weird situation. For me to write a song about a beard is just strange, dude. So strange. But yeah, I wrote that song and was trying to learn how to make professional style videos, music videos is what I wanted to do. So I rented that camera, made that video, and it looks like crap. Even to this day, it's just a crappy video. But I was learning. I didn't think it would go viral, but it did. It got 2 million views in a day. And from that point, that's when you really start saying, now we really might have legs on this career. Now there really might be something. When people in Europe are contacting you and saying, we want to do a write-up on you, you're thinking, well, now I'm about to blow up. And still, to this day, I don't, even though I'm thankful for every single fan and I consider them more than just a number. I'm thankful for all of them. I still don't consider myself as blown up. You know what I mean? As he blew up. Like, yeah. Even though I have fans all over the world, I don't look at it that way yet. I don't think that's still happened. Even though Vanilla Ice, that Ice Ice Baby video has 100+ million views online. If you look at everybody that posted it on Facebook, included with my post, and just one of those videos of mine on my page has 30 million views or more, and on my Facebook. So, but even with that, it's not. I mean, I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm grateful every day. And I always say, if this is as far as God wants me to go, then I'm thankful. I've done some things that other people hadn't done, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So one of the things that when we were talking before, when we got this thing scheduled, I asked for a bio. And one of the things that you would put in your bio is Marty Ray is an indie artist that will always be an indie artist. And kind of going off what you were just saying, was there ever a moment where like the I mean, I don't know, maybe you were offered like a record deal with a label or anything like that. Was there something like the tempting nature of getting into like that level of music to try to, make the big jump, like make a easy catapult kind of into maybe more fans, more listeners, whatever it may be?
You say, was it ever tempting?
Yeah, tempting. Was it, something that you like actively considered at any point, or were you always just like, I just want to do it my way, and I don't want to have to, be beholden to somebody else?
I did it my way. And then the end is near, and I face the final curtain. Anyway, that made me think of when you said my way.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's little Frankie in there. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Or Elvis.
Right. Yeah.
I'm from Memphis, so
I'm from Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go.
Yeah.
I love both those guys, but I'm gonna go Elvis first. But
okay.
Anyway, I know it's fine because I'm the guest. Okay. Now we will take our hats back off.
Fine. Hats back
off. There was definitely in the beginning. I thought that's the way I had to do it to make it was get a record deal, and I was actively trying to do that. And I got a meeting with Sony and Average Joe's and people like that, and they just all seemed so snaky, so shady. And one of the Sony Records was giving me advice, and they were saying, "Well, your music's not really sellable. Like nobody will buy your music, and nobody will. It's good if they're listening to you live, it's good, but they won't buy it." And I said, "How do you know?" And then the guy proceeded to tell me his resume of the songs that he had been involved with that have been number ones or multi-platinum or whatever you want to call it. And then I sit there and I'm going, well, how many songs did you say would work and didn't? How many songs did you say wouldn't, but did? So you really don't know. Nobody really knows. They just don't know. If the record labels would have heard Old Town Road, nobody would have said, okay, this song's going to break records and be at number one for 17 weeks.
Right.
Nobody would have said that. It's all up in the air. You don't know what's going to happen. And anybody that listens to a record label or anybody else, and they say, well, these people know because they've been involved with this, that's foolish. So after a few of those meetings, I just decided, hey, like I said in the beginning, God, if this is what you want me to do, then you prosper it. You do it. You make it happen without them. And he has. Every place that I've gotten to is because of him. And he's the one that's done it. I have done nothing besides love my fans and love on my people. And because I do love them, I love them all. Everybody that listens to me, I love every one of them. And that's all I've done is continue to make content and love on the people that love on me. I even love on the people that don't love on me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's really the only thing that I do.
Yeah. So the one thing that I think is interesting, and I've listened to other podcasts that you've been a guest on. I've been listening to the Marty Ray Project Chats, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, was just like this like very strong faith that you have. And has that been something that's just like the way you grew up? Was there like a moment that kind of triggered like that attachment to your faith, or was it, take us through like how that has helped shape your life over time? Because I think that's really interesting because it just seems like you're somebody that's very true to like what you believe in, and you're very staunch in your values. And I respect that.
Well, I did grow up in the church. As I told you, I grew up singing gospel music. There's not many people that grow up singing gospel that didn't grow up in a church, I don't think, but well, that might be out there. I don't know, but
yeah.
I wouldn't say that I was faithful. There's a difference in being faithful, and there's a difference in being a Christian and just going to church. Big difference, because we're supposed to be the church. So anybody that claims they're, faith-filled and they're trying to live like Jesus, but they don't love their enemies, They don't love the ones that are bad to them, because I'm not going to love them. They don't love me. Then you're not really living like you're supposed to live. We're called to love even the ones that hate us. So that's why when people leave a hate comment or something on something I do, I tell them, I say, hey man, God bless you. I love you still. And I understand you got a right to your opinion. And, no hard feelings here. You ain't hurt my feelings at all.
Right.
And, but as far as my faith, I literally should be dead. I should be dead 4 times over. I'm talking about serious, deadly situations. And if it wasn't for, like, you talking about miracles, I've seen miracles. Like, I've literally seen real miracles happen in front of my face. Not just to me, but to others. And of course, I had my own life saved. I've been run over by cars. You wouldn't believe it. Like, and it's by the grace of God, just because of Jesus, that I'm here today. So there's nobody that could come along and tell me that God's not real, that he don't exist. And if you're a Christian and you allow somebody to tell you that, you're not really a Christian. It's the same as if you're a Buddhist or anything else. If you don't believe wholeheartedly in what you say is true, then you really don't believe, then you're really not that. Even if you say you're an atheist, if you say you're an atheist and you're like, well, maybe there is, I'm 99% sure there is no God, then I don't know if you really can be an atheist in that way, because in that situation, you're taking a risk still. If you say there's no God and you're 99.9% sure there isn't, and then if you're not 100% sure, there's a risk in the end, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a risk involved. So whatever you are, if you don't believe it wholeheartedly and you don't proclaim that and live by that, then you're not really that. You're just somebody that's saying you're that because you're scared. You're either scared to say you're the other, or you're following a crowd. I don't know. I don't follow the crowd because I'm not. I know that this is a majority Christian country, as they say, but when you look at a lot of, I'm not trying to attack anybody, but when you look at a lot of Christians today, they are probably the cause of a lot of people not wanting anything to do with Christianity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
I don't want to be that guy. So my faith is my faith is the biggest part of my whole existence. You know, you asked about it. So I'll tell you, that's the thing that drives me the most is my faith in Jesus, because I live ultimately for him. So my job is to help people, because he put me here to. My music is to help people. The gift he gave me is for his glory and not for mine. So it's not so that I can promote myself and make myself seem like I'm some big champion of something. I'm nothing. You know what I mean? Without him, I'm nothing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And without my fans, without fans, you're nothing anyway. That's what I don't get. Even if you don't believe in God, you better believe in your fans, because I can't stand seeing these people that post things, these big time artists and even small time artists. They'll post something online and they'll get comments and they won't even answer them. They won't even like them. And I'm like, how dare you, man? How dare you expect these people to give you their time, but they're not owed yours? It's a horrible way to think. Absolute horrible way to be. And I don't think those people deserve any love from fans in that situation.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry to preach on you like that.
No. I think, because I just think it's so interesting. I mean, I'm not necessarily a man of faith myself, but I do think it's interesting to find what actually drives people, you know, and I think it can be a variety of things, some good, some bad. But I just respect kind of like where you are and how you, like, anytime I've heard you talk, whether it's, seeing you on Instagram or, now we'll get to Clubhouse, because I know that's always a hot button issue right now. But, even like hearing you talk on Clubhouse, like there always seems to be a common thread, a common message and stuff that you like to talk about, which has helped get you here. And I think that that's really important. And to kind of do, not jump into like, sell out or whatever you want to call it with a big record label or whatever, and just kind of put your faith in, God and your fans and kind of get you to where you want to go. I think that that's an admirable thing. So no need to apologize. I asked the question, but I wasn't necessarily apologizing for
for what I said. I was really apologizing for how long it took me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll work on that for the rest of the interview.
We'll work on that, you bald-headed freak, you.
Yeah. All right. Because the other thing I want to talk about is you live in Nashville now. Born in Memphis, grew up in Arkansas, right? Am I getting that right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes,
Arkansas.
sir.
When did you move to Nashville?
Almost 2 years ago.
Okay, so you're actually like a relatively new Nashville resident.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And it was just, I'm assuming, like the music scene, that lifestyle. Was it because of that, or was there a different reason why?
It really wasn't because of that, because my career is not based on a city, so to speak. So I could have moved anywhere and still done exactly what I do now, which is make videos and do private shows. It was the majority of my career is that, in music at least. But I had been saying for years that I would move to Nashville. The only real constant in my band is me. And then if there's another constant, it's CJ Wilder, who plays with me in just about every show I do, whether it's acoustic or full band. He's usually there. I try to schedule things around him to make sure he's there, because he's so talented and he knows my songs so well, and a myriad of other songs. And I feel crippled almost without him. So, and he lives here. So that was kind of a driving factor as well. The studio that I had been recording at is in Nashville. So there were several things like that I always said. But even before I started recording and everything like that, I said I was moving to Nashville, just because I came here from so what happened was I was born in Memphis, raised in Arkansas, moved back to Memphis for years.
Okay, gotcha.
And in where I'm from, it's just a weird place where I'm from. If you look at somebody where I'm from, then it's kind of like a challenge or something. You know what I mean? Like you're not looking to say what's up. You're looking to say you got a problem or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And I just when I first came to Nashville, I'm trying to set this phone up where it won't fall again.
Just watching your beard go up and down. Professional,
yeah.
very professional. I love it. We're
gonna make this very professional.
We've come a long way in 50 episodes for sure.
50 episodes, you got to make it professional. You don't get a camera that pans like that unless you're professional. Okay, that's panning. That's panning.
Actually. Yeah, that's next level stuff.
You really don't get it, Michael. You don't get that, see?
Yeah, stuff falling in the background. I don't even know what's going on over there. Honestly.
That's the crew. That's the crew doing that. Yeah, hey, we're gonna get y'all to be more quiet around here. Be professional. Yeah, professional. We're trying to. Yes, this is the professional one, not like the others.
Just let him know I'm telling him to keep it down too. Yeah,
I'm telling him. Mike said keep it down. You can't hear him, but he's getting pretty ticked. His head's very red right now. Yeah, so I got him. They're gonna be better.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Anyway, so when I first came to Nashville visiting my buddy CJ, these people, man, I met these people, shook their hand the first day. The next day I saw them, we were hugging. We gave each other hugs, and I thought, this is something else. This is different here. I like this feeling here. This is everybody's got a dream, and everybody's supporting each other's dream. I just really like that. And from that day forward, that was years and years ago. I had been saying ever since then, probably, I don't know, it seems like 15 years I've been saying I was moving to Nashville.
Yep.
And 2 years ago I did it. That's about how it goes.
Yeah. Do you play any of those bars on Broadway, or are you kind of doing your own thing?
No, not really a bar band guy.
Yeah.
Not knocking any of those guys, because that's what a lot of my friends are.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that. I don't like, first of all, I can't sing for 4 hours straight and then go to another bar and sing for 4 hours straight again.
Yeah.
Unless I'm singing crooner music or country music, and I don't really sing either one. I do sing a little country every now and then, but people think I'm country, but that's just because I'm a big, fat, bearded, bald-headed guy that looks country.
Yeah, with like the southern drawl, the whole thing. Yeah,
that's right. If if they heard me sing though without seeing me, I don't believe they would say, "Hey, that's like with Ice Ice Baby." People hear there's a lot of comments that say, "I never would have thought I'd like this country. I didn't know I like country music." And I'm always sitting there thinking, you still don't know if you like country music because this ain't country.
Yeah.
If it's anything, it's reggae, right? If it's anything, it's reggae music. And so it's definitely not country. Country would be more like, to me, country would be if I did a country version of Ice Ice Baby. This is a world premiere country version of Ice Ice Baby.
I love it. Ready to go.
You ready?
I'm ready. We're gonna lock
All
eyes
right.
again, or what's the deal?
No, let's definitely lock eyes. I want to look at directly into the camera lens though.
Okay.
Does it look like I'm looking? Well, you're looking in the camera lens,
right? Yeah.
So it'll look like the people that we're literally locked in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing it directly to you. Ready?
Go ahead.
All right, stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back, the brand new edition. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flowing like a harpoon, daily and nightly. Will it ever stop, y'all? I don't know. Turn off the lights, and I'll glow to the extreme. I broke eye contact for a second. You see that?
Yeah. Well, I was locked in on my camera, so I missed it, but I felt it. I felt it coursing through my veins. That's why I'm wearing the flannel. I have goosebumps. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen at some point. Not the break out into song thing. I just knew I felt like I was going to get, some next level stuff on the 50th episode.
Boom. Professional.
Boom. Yeah, we made up for all the unprofessional stuff with that. That was amazing.
Made up for Billy and them back there throwing little Debbie boxes around. Freaking little Debbie.
Yeah. What was the other? I was going to ask you. So personally, just as a quick sidebar, I can't decide if Bleed or Haunted are my favorite Marty Ray songs. I'm still not 100% sure, but like when we were doing a puzzle, me and my girlfriend here at my apartment, and we were just like playing songs. So it was like Sturgill Simpson or Marty Ray or whoever else, and that was like the top two Marty Ray songs we played were definitely Haunted and Bleed. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Nice. I love that. That makes me so happy because the goal is the dream. People say, man, you blew up. I'll say I blew up when I'm mostly known by one of my own songs more than Ice Ice Baby or Let Her Cry or One Day, which I love all those songs. And I'm thankful for all the attention that they get. I'm not mad about that. But the only reason you ever do a cover song really as a songwriter and an artist is to hopefully get people to listen to your originals. So a lot of people have, and that's I'm thankful for every one of them. I've sold a lot of albums. I ain't multi-platinum or nothing like that, but I've sold a lot of albums on my own.
Yeah.
Just like I said, not on my own, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without a record label, not on my own, with my fans and God, like I always say.
Yep.
But because, and I'm sure I could sell way more with a record label.
Sure.
But I'd be giving up a lot to do that. Not just money wise. I'd be giving up a lot of creativity. They definitely would not let me release albums especially like my last album, Mixed Emotions, you were just talking about. There's Bleed and Haunted. Those kind of go hand in hand.
Yep.
Outlaw.
That was the other one. Outlaw is on my, if I need to get jacked up for an interview, I have like a little playlist. Outlaw is on that playlist. I'll send it to you after this interview.
Yes. No, those three songs kind of really go together. Then there's Blood in the Sky, and that's very rocky. But then you have songs like The Greatest, which is a song I wrote for my daughters. It's just an acoustic, almost like a lullaby type of song. And then there's a song called Set It Off and Superhero, which are like EDM club type music, and you don't, it's all over the map. I'm sorry that this thing keeps cutting off.
It's all right.
If I could get one more, it's letting me, it's letting me know. It's saying, did I lose you again? It's letting me know that my phone is about to die in 10
good.
minutes.
Oh, great.
It's perfect.
Yeah. All right. Great. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
We're just abruptly in.
Yeah. They call that a hard out. So
a real hard out. No chance of salvation. No chance of salvaging that.
No. There's no.
You do have a chance of salvation, though.
Yeah.
No chance of salvaging.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about. The one thing I want to ask you. Last Nashville question. If I was going to Nashville soon, your hot chicken recommendation, what is, as a guy that lives in Nashville, maybe he's been to Nashville a bunch of times, what's your spot? Because obviously that's like a contentious issue amongst Nashvillians.
The problem with asking me that is I'm not a hot chicken guy. I don't like hot stuff.
Right.
I got what they call a geographic tongue.
Yep.
You ever heard of that?
No, but
what it is when you eat. No, you imagine what? No, tell me what you imagine.
It's like if you're growing up in Memphis and you're used to eating like Memphis style ribs, like, and it's like barbecue saucy and stuff like that. Then you go to Arkansas, that's probably like a totally different thing.
That's funny though. That's not at all it, but that's funny. Yeah, your tongue can only stand whatever you're born into.
Right.
No, that's not what it is.
Got it.
It's called that because if certain people, if you eat spicy foods or acidic foods, really acidic foods, then your tongue starts to look like a daggum map with blisters. That's the truth.
Okay.
That's a real condition. And that happens. Like if I eat something too spicy, my tongue's hurting.
Yeah.
And I'll have like a sore on my tongue for a couple of days. So I don't eat hot chicken, but I'll tell you the best chicken that you can ever eat is actually in Memphis, Tennessee. It's called Gus's on Front Street.
Got it.
Gus's fried chicken. Only on Front Street though. There's several of them, but you got to go to Front Street if you go.
I just wrote that down in case I ever find myself in Memphis.
And if you want Memphis barbecue, the best Memphis barbecue is Memphis Barbecue Company. Tell them Marty Ray sent you. It'll get you nothing.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. No problem. Just walk in there.
Marty Ray sent me. Like, who cares?
Marty Ray sent me. It's on him.
Who the hell's Marty Ray?
We don't care. Who is Marty? Marty Ray.
Yeah.
You see these trophies on our wall? Is his name on any of those? Then we don't care. They literally have trophies lined on their walls.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, it's Memphis. I mean, I'm a big barbecue guy myself. I like to dabble in cooking barbecue. I have my own smoker, the whole thing, which is weird for a guy here in New Jersey, I guess. But I'm always looking for good barbecue food spots, the whole thing.
I don't think that's weird. But I do have a question for you, though. I've never asked somebody from the north that I can remember what type of barbecue they like. Like, what type of barbecue are you into when it comes to barbecue? Like, what do you make? Is it the wet rib, the sweet and spicy thick barbecue sauce? Is it the vinegar base? Is it the mustard base?
I'm not a mustard based guy. Vinegar based, I can do like pulled pork. I like that sometimes. When I make ribs, I mean, like, I'm most proud of my ribs. So I do baby backs. I have my own rub that I make. I kind of put that on there that I've kind of pulled from some different, barbecue guys that I kind of follow and respect and, follow them on Instagram or got their books or whatever. And then I do put KC style barbecue sauce on it. It's a KC masterpiece. It's called
Sweet Baby's Ray's what you need to get.
Sweet Baby Ray's, I'm a big fan of. Like, when I make, chicken thighs, and I'll smoke those, and then I'll take them out after I have them seasoned and stuff. I make them season them in chicken rub and tang, and then take them out, sauce them with Sweet Baby Ray's mixed with apple juice, and it's gonna be the best chicken. Maybe not Gus's level, but still from some pretty solid.
Well, that's different kind of chicken.
Yeah.
No, you talking about barbecue chicken. That's different than Gus's. That's fried chicken. Gus's is.
Yeah.
So 2 different worlds. But yeah, I definitely like KC Masterpiece, thick, bold and thick, and whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Bunch of different adjectives they give it. But it's real thick and sweet and tangy, maybe. Maybe that's what they call it.
Sweet and tangy, yeah. That's like Sweet Baby Ray's too, is sweet and tangy. Yeah.
Yeah. That was my nickname in high school.
Sweet and tangy, or
sweet and tangy. And
nice.
Sweet Baby Ray.
Love it. We're getting a full scope of Marty Ray in this whole
You're getting
episode.
everything.
I love
You're getting
everything.
You're getting stuff nobody gets.
No, I was not expecting any of this. All right, so I don't know how much phone percentage or battery percentage your phone has. Let's do quick acting. How'd you get into acting? What interested you about it? Take us through a abridged version of the acting, because I do want to get to the podcast after you get to this.
The quick version of acting is I never wanted to be an actor in my life. That wasn't something I decided. I said I wanted to be growing up, but I believe we're all actors. As children, we believe we can be whatever we want to be, and we act as such. And I think if you go after that. And is this funny or is this funny?
This has been the most fun I've ever had because now we're panning again. We're all over.
Son of a gun.
I'm
now
taking a look
gotta
at your
let
house.
the dog in because the dog's out in the snow. Come on, buddy. This is great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm so happy that you're in now, buddy. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, here we are. Okay.
There we go.
Acting. You said acting.
Acting.
Acting. I never wanted to be an actor. My brother was 18 years old. He just graduated high school. I was dropping him off at Zaxby's where he worked. Plug for Zaxby's for whatever reason. He got out. He was a little depressed. So what's wrong with you? He said, I don't know. I'm not really going. I don't know. I'm depressed. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. That type of thing. I said, man, what's your dream, bro? Like, what are you in there? I ain't never heard you talk about your whole life, talk about what you wanted to be when you grew up. He said, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to join the military. And I was like, whoa. I said, nothing against the military, nothing against joining the military, being a part of that. But you don't join the military because you feel like this is my last resort. I said, what is this dream that's so unachievable? Because he said he had a dream, but it was unachievable. I said, what's this dream so unachievable that you can't reach it? And I was sitting there thinking, man, I hope you don't say president, because he's right. He ain't gonna make it. He's not gonna be president. And because it's too late.
Yeah.
And he said actor. And I was like, oh, it's easy. I said, there's millions of actors, dude. I said, just move to Memphis with me and we'll find an acting school, acting class. I'll take you to him. We'll make it work. That's what he did. I took him to acting class. I was just sitting in the class for a while. And then after I became friends with the teacher there, the instructor, and his name's Forrest Pruitt, Indie Acting Studio. If anybody's in Memphis, go check him out. Tell him Marty sent you. It's kind of like the barbecue place. You just tell him Marty sent you. And wherever you go in Memphis, you say Marty sent me. Every time you walk in,
yeah,
Marty Ray sent McDonald's. It could be McDonald's. You walk in like Marty sent me. It's wherever. They know me. Trust me.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then one day he said, get up here and act, Marty. And I said, I'm not an actor. I'm a singer. He said, we're all something else. He said, get up here and have some fun. I said, all right, I'll have some fun. I got up there and it was really fun. It became very naturally to me. And I read the script and I was able to become that character pretty easy, especially in comedy situations. That's more easy for me than other situations.
Yep.
But I can do I feel like I can do it all. And then shortly after, there was an agent in the class and she signed me and got me auditions for things like TBS, the Detour. I did that. And it was like no time, man. That's what I'm saying about. That's what I'm saying. Like God, if you don't bury your talent, the Bible talks about don't bury your talent, he'll multiply it. So I literally started pushing the talent that he gave me, and he multiplied it into acting. And then I started doing the acting and the music. He multiplied that into writing, and then writing, and into it just continues to new things. Now I'm speaking. I'm speaking at events.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Somebody like me that would speak. I'm not a speaker, right? I can talk to you all day. I'm a conversationalist. But to get up with nobody asking me questions, with just me I'll give you a point that what I'm going to talk about and hope you enjoy this entire conversation that's one-sided, is very awkward to me. I love having conversation, but only when it is a conversation, you see.
Right.
But anyway, that's kind of how acting started, and it's still sitting right there. I've been on some TV shows. I'm not a big star in acting, but maybe I will be one day.
Yeah, maybe. Just got to keep pushing forward, man. All right, so podcast, Marty Ray Project Chats. You and Chris Wallin. Wallin, sorry. Doing this podcast together. You've had some really cool guests on. I just listened to the Bert Kreischer episode the other day. You've obviously had Vanilla Ice on. You had Diamond Dallas Page, which as a wrestling fan back in the day, like I thought that was so cool. So, I know you've been podcasting for a while. When did you set this show up? Like what was kind of the impetus behind that? And how do you, what do you think of podcasting? Is it something that you really enjoy, compared to some of the other stuff that you've been doing?
podcasting is very, very close to my heart because it is the thing when I think back in my life about when I was growing up, what was the thing that I said, man, I would love to do this for a living. It was have my own talk show like Howard Stern. That was the dream, still a dream. That's something I would love to do, to bring people in, and also not just famous people. Use the famous people to kind of build your platform. The go for me is to use the famous people that I know and that I can get. I don't know every one of them. I didn't know Bert, but other than just being a fan.
Right.
If you heard the episode, you know.
Yeah.
And
you messaged him for a year. You messaged him
that's
for
right,
a
whole year.
Just hounded him until he finally said yes.
Hounded that sucker. You know what I'm saying? And I said, you're either gonna do this show, you're gonna say yes, no, or block me.
Yeah.
One or the other. You know, because once you follow me on Instagram and you say you're gonna be on the show, I'm not letting that go until one of those things happen. Yes, no, or block me. One or the other. Because if I wanted you on the show and I asked you and you said you would, or because he said he would, so, and he did, and I wasn't mad anywhere along the way. Was never mad. I was like, it's a fun little game at this point. The monthly Marty message. It became a game.
Yeah.
So anyway, podcasting is I saw podcasting, and I knew the future of radio was podcasting. I knew that. And here we are today. But back then I started podcasting. Nobody knew what a podcast was. It was frowned upon by people that were in entertainment. And it was, you had to get a guest, you had to explain to them what a podcast was.
Yeah.
And so I named it Memnash Radio back then so that they would think it was a radio station. Right. And I actually ended up getting Darius Rucker on the show because of that. He probably still thinks that was a radio show. He probably still to this day. I had his number for years.
Yeah. And
I would text him periodically throughout the years, but he finally changed his number. So I deleted it. But he still follows me on Twitter. So I still got that. I still got that avenue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm actually trying to get Darius Rucker on
I saw you tweeted
show.
You tweeted today that you want to get the retweets for Darius Rucker. The Morning Spotlight's going to retweet that after this show for sure.
Because I don't have a lot of Twitter followers. That's the only place where I've never had any type of success of any kind there. And I really don't like Twitter, but he uses Twitter a lot.
Yeah. So
I said, if I can get enough people to retweet, I know that he'll say, man, I'm going to do this guy's show again. He might not even know it was me. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Oh, you're that radio show host. Yeah, that radio show I did a while back.
20 years ago, that radio show. Yeah, where you faked me out. I thought it was okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You seem like a stand-up guy. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you faked me and made me think it was a radio show, but it was actually one of them pod character things, whatever. That's probably the whole conversation. But anyway, no, podcasting is close to my heart. And so back in the day when I was podcasting, I never wanted to do it without a co-host because I like to banter. And then also, if you're not able to get a guest, you can just have you and your co-host talk about some stuff.
Yep.
But it's tough. I don't want to be alone talking. So I like talking to people. And so we're in episode of this new podcast, the Marty Ray Project Chats. We're in episode, I think 38 at this point. I don't remember the exact number.
Yeah.
But we release every Wednesday. So I'm trying to remember the exact date in my head. I can't remember the exact date. I'm horrible. But anyway, however many weeks ago, there was a week during COVID that when COVID first hit, we weren't doing shows because the original co-host was Jim Best, who's a legendary Hall of Fame country music guy. He couldn't do it after COVID. He wasn't able to do it. So Chris Wallin, who was actually originally a guest on the show, that's how I met him. We became friends. He's actually a hit songwriter. He wrote some massive #1 hits, and he and I became friends, and we started doing the show again. I talked him into doing the show, and then we moved into video. So we started a YouTube channel, which I haven't posted all the video episodes yet. I'm about to get a schedule because that's a lot of editing. but I'm about to get a schedule where they're posted weekly, just like the actual episode, the show is everywhere on every podcasting place that podcasts are heard, whatever you call them,
Right.
And, but yeah, podcasting is the dream is to someday be making as much money as Bert Kreischer running a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the
I get
dream.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That would be a cool, that's my dream too. So hopefully you make it. Hopefully I make it. Why do it if you're not going to go like all in, That's just my opinion. But Clubhouse, you're on Clubhouse literally all the time. You're on Clubhouse more than me, and I'm on Clubhouse quite a bit. So how has that experience been for you? Like, has it developed any new great connections for you? Has it, is it more of a learning platform for you? What do you use it for?
Well, originally I didn't know what to use it for. I got on there because it was invite only and it seemed very exclusive. And I said, I got to figure out how to get on here. And nobody sent me an invite. And so I just set up a profile. It said, save your profile. So I saved it. And when I saved it, a buddy of mine, Dustin Black, brought me in. And I think that's something most people don't know is you don't really need an invite to get in there.
Yeah.
You can create a profile and somebody can
All right, we're back.
Golly, man. I literally had to move to my couch because my phone died.
Oh, my goodness.
50,
Love it.
baby. 50.
50, baby. This has been the best episode yet.
Yeah. Not every episode you go, we're giving them a blueprint of how to podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
This is how you podcast.
This is like masterclass. We should put this on masterclass and just be like, just do what Marty and Mike did, and you should be good to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen. Yes.
So for everybody listening, Marty's phone died. We did get the hard stop that we were not expecting, but we were in the middle of talking about Clubhouse. We're going to do this real quick. We'll wrap it up. We'll let you melt into that couch here in a minute. But
I'm actually about to go outside and play in the snow.
Oh, there you go. Even better. Yeah, that sounds a lot more fun than doing this episode with me. But all right, so Clubhouse, you're on Clubhouse. You get on Clubhouse, and you've been using it to do what? I know you've sung on there. You've been singing on there a couple times. Have you gotten any cool connections from it? How's it helped you?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a dream. Clubhouse is a dream. I mean, Clubhouse has put me in front of people that I would never have been in front of. That's the truth. And I encourage anybody that is able to get on Clubhouse and just start raising your hand, getting in some rooms and talking, even if it's just for networking. Some of the advice on there is kind of, washed. It's kind of watered down advice. It's not really dynamite. Here's some golden nuggets. Some of it is not, but some of it is. Some people are actually getting TV deals on there. Some people are getting record deals on there. Some people there's actually big things happening on the app. For me, I wasn't looking for a record deal or nothing, but I signed up and didn't do anything for a week. Didn't do anything until after my little party hat was already gone. It wasn't on purpose. I just didn't do anything. I signed up. Somebody brought me in. I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw that a friend of mine, he's really a friend of mine just because he hired me to come out to LA years ago and sang at his event, was on there. His name's JT Fox. And I hopped into, before that, I was hopping into random rooms and just raising my hand. Whatever room would let me raise my hand, I would hop in there and raise my hand and just trying to get on stage. And got on stage and I said, I'm just literally going from room to room, asking people what they think a musician like me could do on Clubhouse. Like, what could I do? It seems like it's mainly millionaires on here.
Every room is a millionaire room or a billionaire room or, whatever.
Yeah. So I said, it looks like my original bio said founder and CEO of Marty Ray Project, since everybody's a CEO and founder on this app.
Yeah.
And because that's what it looked like. I'd read these bios and everybody was a founder or a CEO. And I was like, please, everybody's a millionaire. Everybody's multimillionaire. Everybody's a serial entrepreneur. And then the most popular word on the app is pivot.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yep. You want to pivot. And it really irked me for a while. But then I stepped into this one room, and it was a guy named, his name's Hustler on the app. And he and I became real good friends, and he's super cool. He's not like those other guys, a lot of those other guys. His rooms were interesting, and I didn't know this guy until I raised my hand on the stage. He brought me up, and I said, "What can I?" He said, "Well," I asked the question I just asked you, and he said, "Well, you could probably just get on start a room and just start singing or put on like a concert." And I said, "Yeah, but that's easy." I said, "I do that already on my social medias that I have 500,000 followers on." So I said, "There needs to be something else, something different." And he said, "What's easy?" I said, "Putting on a concert, singing, that's easy." He said, "Prove it like that, And I said, "What do you mean prove it?" He said, "Sing right now." I said, "All right." So I sang, and then all of a sudden I started getting all these followers from that room, because this was a big room. And then he followed me, and he had he's got like 30,000 followers on there. So then he started, creating these rooms and inviting me to these rooms, and I kind of built a following there. Then that's when I noticed that my buddy JT Fox was on the app too, who is pretty huge on it. He's got almost 100,000 followers on there, and he would have these real big rooms, like 2,000 plus people rooms. And I would go in there, and the first room I went into, Hustler, I believe, was on stage in this big room. JT Fox was on stage, and whoever is listening in those clubhouses, I know what I'm talking about. And so Hustler brought me up on stage, and I heard JT Fox talking. And I'm sure you've seen JT Fox on there.
Yeah.
If you've been on there.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I heard him talking, and he was saying something, and I just unmuted my mic. This room of these so-called millionaires and billionaires, and I said, JT, you still sing Ice Ice Baby every morning in the shower like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. He didn't recognize who it was. He goes, yeah, I know Vanilla Ice, and he said he and I are friends, and I like that song a lot. I sing that a lot. And I said, this is Marty. This is Marty Ray. I said, you sang my version. You don't sing his version. Why are you talking about Vanilla Ice? And he goes, Marty. He says, what's up? And then he just really gave me this glowing recommendation to everybody in this room that was there. And there was like 2,000 people there, and all these actually very influential people there. And he said that, and this really was an honor to hear. He said at the end of his events, now this is an event where in LA, this was 3 or 4 years ago, he brought me in, and I sang, and then he interviewed me on stage. And I was there, and there was people like Dr. Phil, Vanilla Ice was there, and I knew Vanilla Ice way before this. Vanilla Ice was there. Dr. Phil, I said Dr. Phil, Mel Gibson, Michael Douglas, Michael Irvin, just a bunch of big time people were there.
Yeah.
And JT, he said this is the first time I knew this. He said this in that room. He said at the end of every event, we do we make the attendees rate the speakers. And he said Marty was ranked number 2 out of everybody that was there. And you're talking about some legendary people there.
Yeah.
And I was technically not really a speaker. I performed, and he interviewed me, and it was like this right here. But the fact that they said that many people ranked me number 2 out of all those people was truly incredible. It was truly honoring to me to hear that, because I had never heard that anyway. So then that's kind of how the following started building on there. And I think I got like 3.3K on there now. And every time I would go into his room, and still now, he'll bring me up on stage, and sometimes he'll say, hey, I want to introduce y'all to somebody, that type of thing. And I'll sing a little bit of Ice Ice Baby, and then just keep growing that way. But that's not going to work for everybody, because everybody don't already have those connections, but you can make them. I was blessed in that, like I said earlier about Proverbs, bringing me before great men. I had already been brought before some great men, right?
Yep.
Like years ago, I'm actually the one that brought Vanilla Ice on the Clubhouse.
Right. You did the whole room. The welcome party for Vanilla Ice was you. Yeah, I was
right.
in there. Yeah.
And that was like 2000s, that the room got up to like 2,000 something people.
Yeah.
And it was crazy in there. There was everybody you can think of was in that room. And I was like, I know it wasn't for me. It was for him, of course.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was able to organize something and I had met enough people that were big enough on the app to where they could draw the people in. It was truly cool. And I wanted to I wanted people to see how cool Rob was just in real life. And you got to see it.
Yeah.
He's just a cool guy. He's just really laid back and cool.
As a guy that works in the real estate industry, I was very impressed to learn that he's a real estate investor. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that until that room. That was when I found that out. Yeah.
Wow. So you've never seen his show?
No.
You should. It's a really fun show to watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So that's Clubhouse in a nutshell. It's kind of what I do now. Even I'm in a couple of, I made some really cool friends there. I'm in a couple of rooms every now and then. I'm not on there as much as I used to be here lately, but I was on there this morning in a social media group room. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I host a podcasting room every day, Monday through Friday. So I just, and I'm still working on my first 1,000. I'm at like 600-700 already, but it's just cool. Like the types of people that you meet who like might randomly show up in the room and start asking questions or whatever. So to me, it's been such a cool platform and to explore and try to figure out the best way to utilize it, whether it's for my, career, whether it's for the podcast, whether it's for whatever. It's been a cool platform. All right. So last question before we get into the closing segment, I always like to ask people about like their goals moving forward. So, obviously 2020 kind of wreaked havoc on a lot of different industries. I'm sure the music industry obviously is no different. So what are some things that you're hoping for to kind of achieve over the next year or so? So like 2021, is there something that Marty Ray wants to have happen to him over the next year? What are you working towards?
Well, every year at the beginning of the year, I say that I will have 1 million fans on one platform, meaning 1 million on Facebook, 1 million on YouTube, and 1 million on TikTok. I mean, or 1 million on TikTok, or all three.
Yeah,
that'd be fine cool too. Yeah, or Instagram, or even Twitter. I don't care. I really don't care where it is, but just that's a big milestone because I have 1.3 million across all platforms.
Right.
But to have 1 million on one platform has been a goal every year for a while. So there's that. And like I said, it's not just a number to me. It's people. Like all those are actually people. But also there's that. And then I want to have my own podcast studio that's just mine, that nobody else owns, to where I can bring people in and let them, rent out a space and things like that. I forgot what they call those places, but I want to have a podcast studio this year. I plan to have one this year, Lord willing, where we can host our show and then have other people come in if they need a place to host a show. They can rent a room or whatever, and also a place to do live streaming concerts. So that's kind of the goal right there.
Awesome.
For this year.
Yeah, those are good goals. I respect those. I would love a podcast studio. That would be amazing. Then I don't have to do it. This is my bedroom technically, so my bed's on the other side of this wall.
You mean that's not a real studio behind you?
No, this is just a green screen.
You lied to me.
That's why every time I grab my mic, you see it's just like the whole thing turns green.
Yeah.
That's professional. Yeah.
Hey, it don't get no more professional than this, buddy.
Right, you're on your couch, phone plugged in, just rolling.
Couch, I'm inching my head as close to this cord as I can. It's perfect.
Yeah, can't get better. So, all right, so let's
get better.
Oh, there we go. Another special guest, Marty's dog just joined us. What's the dog's name?
Rascal.
Does Rascal have anything to add to the conversation? I guess not. He's checking me
Rascal,
out a little bit.
You want to say anything, buddy? Okay, he don't want to say anything.
No. All right, he's out. Terrible guest.
He's good. Horrible guest.
I mean, a face for TV, not a voice for radio, for sure, or not podcasting, at all. Whatever you want to call it.
Don't have him on again.
No.
On again. Horrible. And I'm not bringing. You know what? I did that as a test to see if I would bring him on my show. Yeah. I won't.
No. Yeah. I'm glad you used my show as the guinea pig.
It's the guinea pig show. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I wouldn't want to test it on my own. You know what I'm saying? That'd be crazy to do.
All right, let's move the show. I mean, this has been such a great conversation. You know, we've been probably going for over an hour there, you know, the phone dying notwithstanding, but let's move the show into our closing segment, which we call Under the Spotlight. So the people listening to this show, the Spotlighters, as I like to call them, have listened to Marty Ray and Mike Ham talk for about an hour, probably a little over an hour. So what is one thing that you want them to walk away from this episode with? Maybe something that we've touched on already, maybe something we haven't touched on, but what's that one thing?
I always say this, and I'll tell my girls this. I say God created us in his image, and that is as creators. So if you're not creating every day, you feel dead inside. I think that's why a lot of depression sets in people, because they're not creating as they were called to do. So I would say, whoever you are, find something to create it and do it every day and be a creator. That's what I would leave everybody with.
Love it. Yeah. As someone that tries to create, I think that's, as somebody that started creating last year, like this podcast started last year. So, I totally agree with that. It's been something that's really really changed my life in a lot of ways. So, all right. So for everybody listening, that is going to wrap up our show. I will make sure that I put all of Marty's not contact information, but all his platforms that he's on, YouTube, Instagram, the podcast links. I'll put all those in the show notes. So make sure you go check it out, because the show is actually, it's awesome. I know that he's using my show as like kind of a test bank for some of his different projects that he's trying to do, which I'm totally cool with. That's the rite of passage, I guess, to get to a next level type thing. But I'll make sure I put all those links and his, handles in the show notes. Make sure you go check them out, because the stuff that he's posting is absolutely off the charts. Marty, thank you so much for coming on with us today. This was awesome. Could not think of a better way to spend the 50th episode of the Morning Spotlight than this conversation that we just had.
I couldn't think of a better way for you to spend your 50th episode either. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you putting my social security number and my phone number. And did I lose you again?
It would not be. It would be yeah, that was what I was expecting. One more screen shut off.
One more for the road.
One more for the road.
In the road, deep into the blackness of the screen.
Yeah.
And it's just a good way to end it. God bless you, brother. If
Thanks,
we don't
Marty.
follow each other on Clubhouse, let me know.
Oh, we do.
I'll follow you.
Oh,
we do?
We do. You follow me, I follow you, which was a big step for me in my Clubhouse, acceleration, I guess.
It's a big step for me.
Yeah.
It's a big step for me, brother. I'm
awesome.
honored.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. And everybody else, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.